A cold wind sweeps the hill. Rain beads on lacquered armor. He waits sword-sheathed, eyes on the valley. This is the picture we carry. Duty, discipline, resolve. But the samurai were more than fighters. They governed, wrote, studied, and ruled. From provincial warriors to a class that shaped a nation, their code-bound service to honor. Who were they really? How did they rise and endure? Beyond the myth lies a complex world. Battles, laws, and ideals. The people behind the armor. Long before the samurai became famous, Japan was ruled by an emperor in the capital, supported by powerful aristocratic families. During the Heian period, late 8th century, the central government's influence began to wane in distant provinces. Wealthy landowners, local clan chiefs needed to protect their lands and enforce order where the emperor's reach was weak. They began hiring and training private guards and soldiers. These provincial warriors mastered mounted archery and practiced swordsmanship, forming the first seeds of a formidable military class. These early fighters were called bushi, simply warrior. The term samurai came later, from saburo, to serve. It captured their purpose. Men who served a master. Their loyalty wasn't to a distant emperor, but to the local lord who fed and housed them, and rewarded their service. That personal bond became the bedrock of the samurai system for centuries. They acted as armed enforcers of a decentralized, feudal society taking shape across the Japanese archipelago. Their equipment was distinct and practical. The 12th century marked the critical turning point when the samurai transitioned from provincial servants to the nation's de facto rulers. The growing rivalry between the two most powerful warrior clans, Taira, Minamoto, erupted into the Genpei War. Years of brutal conflict tore Japan apart. The war ended at the naval battle of Dan no Ura. The Minamoto emerged victorious. Their leader was Minamoto no Yoritomo. He founded a new military government, a bakufu, a tent government. He set it up in Kamakura, far from the emperor in Kyoto. In 1192, he was granted the title Sei Taishogun, the shogun, supreme military commander. The emperor remained divine and ceremonial. The shogun held real power. This began the Kamakura period and centuries of samurai rule. Samurai governed as shugo and jito, maintaining order, collecting taxes, and administering justice. No longer just swords for hire, they became pillars of a new feudal order. As the samurai class cemented its role as Japan's ruling elite, a distinct ethical and philosophical code began to formalize. This unwritten set of principles came to be known as bushido, the way of the warrior, not a single law book, but an evolving moral compass for life, conduct, and spirit. It emphasized virtues essential for those who fought and governed. At its core, live and die with honor, placing duty and loyalty above life itself. Absolute loyalty to one's master, the daimyo, unwavering, even over family. Courage in the face of death. Running or cowardice brought unbearable shame. Integrity, self-control, compassion, honesty in dealings, frugality, and justice in leadership. Balance refined conduct with deadly skill, a cultured gentleman, not a brute. Its ultimate expression, seppuku ritual suicide, a final means to preserve honor after failure or disgrace. By this act, a samurai could erase a stain and demonstrate mastery of his spirit. Bushido shaped every aspect of samurai life from the cradle to the grave. The stability of the early shogunates did not last forever. By the mid-15th century, power weakened, plunging Japan into the Sengoku, an age of relentless civil war. Powerful daimyo fought to expand territories and vie for control. For samurai, endless battle and unprecedented opportunity forged legendary warriors. Warfare evolved. Foot soldiers, long pikes, firearms, advanced sieges, and massive castles reshaped battle. Samurai remained elite commanders and shock troops, honed and pragmatic. Three great unifiers emerged: Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Tokugawa Ieyasu. Ieyasu won decisively at Sekigahara in 1600. He founded the Tokugawa shogunate in 1603, moving the capital to Edo. 2.5 centuries of peace followed. Peace raised a question. What is the purpose of a warrior in a world without war? Samurai became administrators, scholars, teachers, retaining status, stipends of rice, and the privilege of 2 swords, yet their martial role grew ceremonial. The long, peaceful isolation of the Tokugawa period came to a sudden end in the mid-19th century. In 1853, the Black ships entered Edo Bay. Commodore Matthew Perry demanded Japan open its ports. The shogunate, militarily outdated, could not resist. The opening triggered turmoil and social upheaval. Factions rallied around Revere the Emperor, expel the barbarians. Western domains led an anti-shogunate movement. Civil war erupted. Imperial forces triumphed in 1868. The Meiji Restoration centralized power under a modernizing government. To resist the West, Japan adopted Western technology, institutions, and a conscript army. With every man eligible to serve, the samurai's exclusive warrior role vanished, striking at their identity and purpose. Domains were abolished, stipends converted to bonds, and in 1876, the Hitorei forbade public sword-wearing. Deprived of role, income, and swords, the samurai class ceased to exist. When one is serving, one does not think about dying, one thinks about serving. With no one left to serve in the old way, their era was over. Though the samurai as a class vanished, their spirit left an indelible mark that persists. Educated former samurai helped lead the Meiji state government, military, industry, education. Traditional values, loyalty, duty, perseverance, striving for perfection, guided rapid modernization. Bushido was reinterpreted into national, corporate, and social life. In martial arts, kendo, judo, aikido discipline, respect, and self-improvement endure. From museums to films, novels, manga, and games, the samurai archetype captivates worldwide. It preserves themes of honor, loyalty, and the tension between violence and virtue. Imagine the lone warrior at sunrise. The rain has passed, he sheathes his sword. His time as a warrior ends, but his principles do not. They flow like a river into the new Japan. The clatter of armor becomes the hum of life. Duty, honor, and discipline remain.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.